organs in the front.
There you go. So if you can put a bullet right in the rib cage, I don't care what bullet you got. Right. If the person ain't on PCP, if the person ain't on crack,
right,
or the person ain't on something,
K2,
K2, which is legal, they go feel something.
Shoot a 45 better than you shoot a 9, carry a 45, right? There is no incremental gain you get moving up to a higher caliber that is going to overshadow your ability to shoot the smaller caliber better.
You know, most of us who are quote-unquote gun people have been in never-ending discussions and forums and reading hundreds of articles about how much better this caliber is versus that caliber, and the venerable this over the not-so-venerable that. And, you know, I just wish that we could get the message out a little bit better that handguns are handguns. You know, if it's a 44 or a 357 or a 41, it really doesn't matter. They are all somewhat feeble given the potential danger that a human being can present. It is far more important to have the proper bullet design in the caliber that you end up choosing. If you end up developing a flinch and your groups open up and you don't like shooting a 40 cal and you don't practice with it because you don't like the punishing recoil of it, as an example, you'll be far better off shooting something like a 9mm that you have confidence in, that you can deliver accurate fire quickly into the vital zone of your adversary. Because in the meantime, we have learned our lessons. We can get the performance, the terminal performance of a 9mm projectile pretty much up on par with that of a 40, up on par with that of a 45. Don't get sidetracked by the caliber. Buy the best projectile you possibly can and shoot the caliber that you are good with. And then the thing that overrides all of them, it has to work. It's got to be reliable.
Now, Brandon, did you hear that?
Right.
Did you hear what they really said? Don't get hang up on the caliber.
Correct.
Choose the right tool that you can handle the best.
But that goes back to what you said earlier about this being kind of like selecting a team. It's like, no, I want to go with my team and my team's the best. You know, people might see I have a Dolphins hat on. They might think that's my team. No, that's just a hat I got on. You just have to do what's best for you. Go with, but you also can't put down somebody else's weapon or, you know, say that, you know, you're not going to be as accurate or precise with that weapon. That person may feel like they are.
You are correct. If I had a daughter or if I was teaching anybody what weapon, what firearm to choose, I tell them, choose a firearm that you are most comfortable with. Correct. And you can hit anything in this photo right here. Anything in this photo right here.
Correct.
Because the bottom line is, if you get a hole in your lung, Brandon, if one is a millimeter smaller or a millimeter bigger,
it's not going to make no difference. No, it's not going to make a difference.
But only difference it'll make if you could put that bullet where it's supposed to be put.
Right.
Let's do a biology test right here. Here's a biology test. I don't know what God done. I can't tell you what God done. But God gave man ribs, right? Why do you think you gave us ribs, Brandon?
To protect our vital organs in the front.
There you go. So if you can put a bullet right in the rib cage, I don't care what bullet you got. Right. If the person ain't on PCP, if the person ain't on crack,
right,
or the person ain't on something,
K2,
K2, which is legal, they go feel something.
Correct.
So the goal is to put something right in this picture right here.
And you know what? My mom had a 380, which was a smaller gun. It was a bodyguard. I think it's a Smith & Wesson bodyguard.
Nice.
She liked to shoot it. I shot it a couple of times. My hand is kind of larger, and it kind of pinch your hand sometimes when you're shooting it.
Where at?
Kind of like where you grabbing it. Like if you're grabbing it wrong, too close to the top or whatever. Like it's because it's a small gun, it can kind of pinch a little bit, and it just feels a little awkward. But then we got her a shield, a Smith & Wesson 9mm shield, and she's like, "Oh well, I actually prefer shooting with this one, even though it's a larger gun. It just feels more comfortable when I'm firing, and I don't have even though it's a small gun, and you would think women love a small gun, a cute little gun. It's got 380 bullets, and you know, it just seems like that's what would be perfect for a woman. But no, that's not necessarily true. So
now Brandon made an insurance port, and I could put it down into reality. Everybody's seen the show 1,000 Pound Life, right?
Right,
For the
correct.
big fat people. What is easier to move? A person weigh 100 pounds
Mhm.
or a person weigh 500 pounds on the couch? Who is
100
easier?
pounds.
That's
100
easier to
pounds.
move.
Yes, that's easier to move.
So when you shoot a gun, a small gun is easier to move. So when you shoot, pow, the recoil, you can feel it because it's no weight there. So if you have a heavier gun, a full size one, when you shoot it, it's less.